beautiful people, welcome once again to hellohnclothing, and in today's tutorial we are going to be learning all about necklines, but this time we're going to be focusing on the back of a dress, a blouse, a gown. So trendy, beautiful back necklines that will go with the front ones we did initially. That's what we're going to be doing in today's video. So if this is something you're going to be interested in, please to keep on watching, and let's dive right into today's tutorial. Alright, so here I have my back bodice, my back basic bodice pattern. So I just traced out the zipper bulge that I take away from my dresses, tops, anything that has to do with the basic bodice. I took that out, and the side seam, the armhole. So I'm leaving the neck area because since we're working on the neck, there's no need to draw any neckline there. Okay, this dart, of course, when you want to sew, you can either take your dart away or you hold it down or you turn it to a princess dart, but we're just focusing on the neckline. So we have some very nice trendy necklines that we're going to be working with, and let's start with the first neckline on our radar. So we're looking at how to work this neckline out. Okay, so this is what we have here, and this is how the back bodice is. Let me open it. So it's almost like we have the zipper there coming together, everything sitting well. We have the full back like so. Okay, so next thing we're going to do is let's analyze the style. First of all, you can see that the neckline here, the main neckline, is quite deep, wide and deep, like almost to your bra level. And you know, any neckline getting to your bra level should be about 8 inches long, and let's say this should be about 5 or 5.5 inches wide. Remember also that our back basic bodice already has a 1 inch for our zipper allowance, so we're going to take care of that 1 inch first. Let me draw that 1 inch line so that we don't get confused with that. First of all, then we have this. So ideally this is how the zipper line for the back is, then the remaining part is your back. Okay, now this neckline goes down, so it goes down and goes wide. From this zipper line allowance that we have done, we're going to be measuring about 5.5 inches here. Okay, and from that 5.5 inches, you're going to also go down to about 8 inches. So it is that wide. Something that can help you also is to draw like a square, like to square it out. I'm going to use the pencil to just help me square that out. Okay, then from there, you can just cover it. So I'm just using the pencil to see, and it's looking quite curved, like a semicircle. And I just went over it with a marker. Now I'm just going to cut that part out. Do not throw away this part. Just cut it out. Great, so you have a back that wide. Normally you'll be having something like this to take care of that wideness of the back. Okay, also for contouring the shoulder so that it doesn't gape, you can lower this edge by 1/2 inch. Let's do that. So that will help to eliminate any looseness that you'll be having there. Okay, so I've removed that. So it's going to sit firmly on the shoulder. Now that we have this, the next thing to do is to also work out that part, that you have where the zip is going to be, because the zip still exists in the pattern. So you want to work out where that zip is going to be. First of all, just do a normal basic neckline. So this neckline is like a 2" by maybe 2" by 1" or 2.5" by 1". A 2.5" by 1" neckline, because it's really high, and you just curve it that way. Okay. So once you have that normal neckline, the next thing that we're going to do is measure how wide you want that neckline to be here. So from that point, you can just make the neck up to like 2 inches here and 1 inch here. From that zip line, that's where I measured. So I'll just really a straight line. Okay, and cut off this part now. So all this part will be where you are going to form strips that will be holding the fourth. So this zipper line will be together. Let's cut it. So this zipper line will be together like so on this part. Okay. Please put your seam allowance at this part because you need to join it to that other part. I'm just imagining that this is our fabric that we're working on. So I'll put it here as well. Okay, and if you open the main dress or bodice, you put it together. So you're putting that, I'm doing like there's already a zipper installed, so I'm putting the 1" on each other and I'm holding it down there. Let me just hold it down that way. Great. So once you put your seam allowance here, it will enter into this part like so, and you have this one opened. I hope you understand what's going on there. Yeah, so you have this, and then you have this part opened. All you just need to do here is get papers, not papers. In the real sense, you'll be getting those straps, all those straps that we usually use for projects, okay? And it could just be 2 inches, like you cut 2 inch on fold and make it tiny. Whatever you have there, you put it in between there. So let me give you an example. So you would have made straps like this. Let's imagine this is our strap. Then you just be cutting and putting it in between. So I'm going to imagine that I've prepared my straps already. Your straps should just be long enough to fit into whatever space you have. Okay, just follow the design. So the design is even coming this way. So I'm just using this to show you. So the design is actually coming this way. Cutting this to just show you. So you make it as symmetric, like whatever you have here, let it be the same thing you have there. Okay. Just create the strap and stitch them in. Make sure you do a very clean finish. Remember, we're all about very neat finishing. Then one could be here like so, joining these two parts together like so. Okay, like so. Yeah, so this is what the first back design looks like. You can still tweak it to however you want it to be. If you feel this one is not so wide enough, you can go lower, maybe 9 or 10 inches. But yeah, you get the picture of what the first back design looks like. Let's move on to style design 2. Okay, so for style 2, we still have our basic back bodice. This is what we have here. Now it's just like that one that we do, that peekaboo style. That's what, like, this one is just easy. So for the peekaboo style, we've done this before. All you just need to do is, from this neckline, remember this is your zipper allowance. Let me do that zipper allowance already. Okay, so this is our zipper allowance already. For the style 2, all we need to do first of all is from this top, you can go down all the way to about maybe 9 or 8 inches, depending on how deep or how low you want to go. From there, you can go ahead to cut your normal bustier cut there, okay? So you'd have tightened the dart on that point. I'll just cut my normal bustier cut there. This will take care of the lower back. Now for the peekaboo design that we can see, first of all, do your basic neck. From this up, just measure about maybe 3 inches. That's the basic neckline. Then from that 3 inches, you go low to maybe about 3 inches. You can do 3 by 3 inches. Then yeah, just curve it out. You can use your ruler, French curve, whatever. Curve it out that way, and then cut it out. Okay, so now you have your basic neckline. Now from this basic neckline, you can now determine how many inches you want that upper part to be, that upper neck to be. You can decide you want it just 2 inches. So from that 2 inches, you are going to be curving it down, curving it all the way, maybe to, let's say, here you can make room for, let's say, 2 inches or 1 inch or 1.5. So you're curving it all the way from here, and you want it to be really curved, because from what we can see, it's actually really curved. Once it's really curved, yeah. Okay, if you feel it's too straight, you can deepen it a little to balance it out. Yeah, so that's what you'll be having for the back. You can do this both for the back and front. It's going to sit well. So this is the peekaboo style. Let us put our zip top each other. So when you're sewing, you'd have done your dart tightening, everything you need to do for the dart side. Okay, it's sitting pretty. Then for this upper part, the same thing with your zipper, put it up together, and now these 2 pieces will be going into here like so. Okay, so these 2 pieces will be going in here like so. This is the peekaboo style. If you want it higher up or this one lower down, please feel free to reduce it however you want it. So this is style design 2 for the back. For the front, please go ahead. You can still do the peekaboo in front so that some cleavage is showing, or you do a normal basic round neck in the front. Okay, let's move on to style design 3. So we still have our basic back here, like what we can see here. I'm going to be drawing out my zipper line as well. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to be measuring how low we want that back to be. You see that all the backs are kind of low. So from this neckline here, we're going to be measuring, let's do 8.5 now, for instance. And from that 8.5, we can rule a line. Next, you work on the upper neckline. So I'm going to be doing like a 3 inches neckline from this zipper line, and I'll just go down to maybe about 2.5 inches. So from there, I'm just covering it. Yeah. Great. Now that we have this, the next thing we're going to do is try to see how those straps were formed. So first of all, this zipper is out of the way. So from this neckline here, you can see that we have some kind of extension where longer ropes were attached. So we have something like this going on, like this going on, and going all the way in there. So this part here is where the straps, you're going to attach straps to that part. Okay, so now we can cut this out. So from here, cut this out. It's like a zigzaggy thing you just draw there. Okay. I don't want it too wide so that it still makes sense. I'm feeling like I'm going to even make a dress like this. Okay, so all this part is off. This part here, there's no zipper up there, and you have something like this. So when you put this on this, like so, it's going to take care of that part. If sewing this is going to be a problem, like in the terms of these parts that are dangling, let me just hold this down. So if sewing this part is going to be a problem, you can actually cut it off and sew it in after you have done the main back. You can now put it in. If to cut this pattern and have all these things will be too much of a dangling affair, but if not, you work with that. Then the next thing is, once you are done, you attach your rope to this body here. You put your rope here, like you sew it down, palm, sew it down, palm, so that you have edges that you're going to tie. You do the same thing for this upper part, sew it down, palm, palm. Then you have ropes that you're going to tie at the back. That's all. That is all for this back, okay? So that's for style design 3. Let's move on to style design 4, okay? Now for style 4, it is not the same thing that is on the left that is on the right. We have two different things. So for this one, we'll have to open it up, okay? Like so. Let me first draw my zipper line so that we know that that part is out of question. Okay, so I have drawn the zipper line away, and this is what we'll be having for the back. Now, first of all, you need to measure the length of, that's how deep you want it to be from the neckline. So from the neckline, I want the back to get to, let's say, about 8 inches or 8.5 inches. Same thing here, still the same depth that we have on both sides. So I'm using 8.5 inches, and you can see on one side of the back we have like a V. So we have like a V on one side of the back. So from there, I'll just go up here and measure maybe like 3.5 inches from the shoulder. I said 3.5, 2.5 inches from that shoulder, and then I'm going to use my curve to draw like a V, like a curvy kind of V. Okay. Yeah, so we'll have that on one side, while on the other side we're having the normal neckline. So this neck, the neck is getting to, let's say, about 3 inches, because here was 2.5, here is wider, 3 or 3.5 inches. You can use it at 3 or 3.5. So from there, you have the neckline going a bit like this. First of all, let me use my pencil. Going a bit like this, first of all, like what we did for the last style. Okay, going like this. Okay, then going down. Then going all the way to meet that part. Okay, so I hope you get the gist. So from this 3.5, just draw like palm, palm, and palm. So that's how this one is going to be. I hope you understand the picture. Now we can cut this out. Okay, so now when you put it this way, like so, This is what you'll be having for the back, and then your straps come to play. Okay, just hold it down. Yeah, so now your straps will come to play. From here you have like an attachment or a button that will hold all the different straps coming from here. So we have one, we have two. Let's imagine these are the straps, so I don't want to cut the rope. So we have all of this coming from here that will now be attached to a loop here. Okay, so we have 4 different straps coming from here that will be attached to a loop here. Yeah, and that will form the style design for the back. I hope you get it. I hope this illustration is making sense. If it's making sense, write in the chat there that go on, it's making sense. Please write it in the chat. Let me see that it's making sense. So this is how it's going to be for style 4. Okay. All right. So for style 5, style 5 is a very simple one. Like what we can see here, we can all agree that it's simple. So what we're going to do is, first of all, you're going to measure how low you want the back to go. All these ones are actually low back, so I think you can actually observe that. So I want the back to get to like 5.5, and I'm going to do the shoulder to be about 2.5 for the shoulder. So that 5.5, draw a straight line. So this is like a square neck. Straight line from that 5.5. Then from this 2.5, also a straight line. This is a square neck at the back. So if you have a square neck at the back this low, don't make the neck at the front also this low. Okay, so cut this open. Oh, then also once you see that your shoulder is having this kind of sharp edge, just trim it away. I think about 0.4 quarter inch or 0.25 inch should do the trick there. Okay, so now you'll be having something like this. Oh, we forgot to draw our 1 inch zipper allowance, but it's fine. Let's just put our tape there like so. So once you have this, now next thing you do is you're going to be taking your, and you want to sew it well so that this will relax. You're going to be putting one strap from that corner to this corner. Okay, then the other strap will be going, I don't want to cut this, I hope you understand. One strap from this corner to this corner. Let me just cut it. So when you sew the back, you are going to put your strap one corner to this corner so that it's going to hold it down, hold everything in place. Then you have the other strap from this corner to this corner. Okay, let's cut it. So this is what you'll be having for style 5. Okay, so yeah, I'm enjoying all these necklines, and I'm sure I really want to try one of these. Okay, so finally the last neck design that we're going to be looking at. This is our back bodice. First of all, this is like a bustier. This is very, very similar to the one that we did initially. That's the first one we did. It's so similar to that one. So from here we're going to be measuring below. We're going to go low to about, let's say, 8 inches low. You can do 9 inches. Just draw a straight line there. Great. You can also cut on that point. Remember, whenever you cut a back bustier, your dart must be more tightened so that it sits well there. So once you cut that part out, okay, let's leave that one first. Then we'll work on this one. First of all, this is your 1 inch for the zipper. Let me just mark that point for the zipper. So from there, I'm doing like a 2.5 inch at the back, and I'm going low to, let's say, about 2.5 inches as well. So from here, I'll just draw my basic neck from there. Once you're done doing that, then the next thing you do is from this point, whatever you have there. You now want to measure. Let's say I'm going to be measuring 3.5 inches. I want it that wide. And at this bottom, remember this is 1 inch here for my zipper allowance. So from that 1 inch, I can measure 1.5 inch. So I'm going to just rule a straight line like so. And then by the time you cut that part out, you would have this for the back, the basic back. Let me just hold it down with a tape. Then for this one, you hold it down too as well. So that's where your zipper will go. Okay. Yeah, so this will really hug the back, and you have this beautiful style design that you can also do at the front. Okay, could be both in the front and at the back. Yeah, so that is it, guys, with our tutorials today. If you sure did enjoy this tutorial, please do not forget to give me a huge thumbs up. If you know you learned 1 or 2 style designs that you'll be trying out as well, do not forget to subscribe. Leave a comment below if you really understood what we did here today. And yeah, till we see you in our next tutorial, stay safe. God bless you. Bye.